Hello everyone, Devin, Nash here. In this video, we talk about raising your standards. When I think about self-improvement and I think about personal development, the thing that always interests me is why do some people personally develop and some people don't? Why do some people make a certain amount of income per year and why do some people don't? Why do some people maintain a certain level of fitness and some people don't? Is it genetic? Is it talent-based? Is it our upbringing? And I don't know how much those things factor into it, but I think the biggest factor in your choice to live the life that you want to live is something called your standard. So in your life, you have standards that you're not aware of. They're just subconscious. You have standards about what you eat. You have standards about what you're going to eat and what you're not going to eat. You have standards about what kind of people you'll hang out with and what kind of people you won't hang out with. You have standards about everything. You have standards about the kind of income that you earn and what is okay and what isn't okay. You have standards about the type of living that you're okay with. Are you okay with roommates or do you want to live alone? Are you okay with having the kind of car that you have? Are you okay with having a car or are you okay with not having one? What kind of lifestyle you have is defined by a series of standards that you have put in your mind and you've probably never consciously thought about. But standards are the thing that separate you from having the life that you want and the life that you have. And the only thing that is going to make your life really change is when you say, I'm going to raise my standards. What does raising your standards mean? What does that mean? Raising your standards means that you're no longer okay with life in the way that it currently is. Well, let's take an example. Let's say that you eat certain types of foods, and every once in a while you go out to McDonald's, you go out to fast food, and you just spaz out and have a couple of hamburgers, or you eat a lot. The only time that is going to change, the only point at which that's going to change and you're going to actually raise that standard is when you look at that choice that you make periodically and you say, this is a problem in my life. This is something that I am no longer going to be okay with. I am not going to be a person that eats fast food anymore. And then I'm going to stop doing it. Not tomorrow, not next month. I'm not going to make a plan. I'm just going to get at it. I'm going to attack it. And I'm not going to do it anymore because it is simply not okay for me to be this person. Let's take another thing like smoking. Let's say that you have a problem with smoking and it's something that's like really impacting your life. You know you should quit. You know you should get around to doing that. You know that it'll be later sometime in your life, but it can wait. It's not that big of a problem. The only time it's going to change is when you say, I am not a person that smokes anymore. That's not the person I'm going to become because the cost of being that person is too high. The pain of being that person to myself and my friends and my family, it's too much. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore. And until you make that choice, you will not change. You have to attach so much emotional pain to the idea of the person that you are. The person that you are should disgust you. And that's why I very frequently say you don't become identified with the person that you are. Become identified with the person that you're becoming. Become identified with the person that you are becoming and the person that you're transforming into, because that's always exciting. But I'm personally disgusted with the person that I am. And let me be clear, that's not a self-confidence thing. That's not like I look down on myself. I love myself. I love everything about what I do, and I'm pumped on my life, and I love life. But at the same time, I know that I deserve a better standard than the one I give myself, and I'm always looking to step that up. I think a lot of people say are you self-depreciating yourself because you look down on yourself for the standards you have? No. I do look down on the standards that I have. Certain foods that I eat are not okay. My sleep schedule is not okay. I'm going to change it. I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to decide that. And the moment that I decide that, that's when it's going to happen. But if you're waiting, people are waiting. I don't know what people are waiting for. They're waiting for permission. They're waiting for an event to happen. They're waiting for a near-death experience that's going to show them the white tunnel and they're going to be like, I got to change, this is the time. That is probably never going to come. If you get lucky, you'll have a challenge that is so hard in your life that's given to you by the world that you'll be forced to change. A lot of people, they say, oh, I don't want life to be difficult. But life that's difficult, that forces you to change. If you don't get that though, and chances are you won't because you're living in this country, or maybe you're watching this from another country, but you're probably pretty secure because you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, so you have access to the internet and your life is pretty good. If that's the case, then hey, you're probably not going to be challenged that much. You know, Tough Mudder and Spartan Race and all these races, they're selling like crazy because people intuitively want to be tested. We want to be challenged. You're not going to get challenged to the extent that you're going to change. Stop waiting for it. Just raise the standard. Put that bar up. Your tolerance level's got to go up, and you got to say, this is not the person I am anymore. I can't deal with this. I can't be this person anymore. I'm not okay with my weight. I'm not okay with my income. I'm not okay with the friends I hang out with. I'm not okay with the drugs and the bad food and the stuff that I put in my body. It makes me feel terrible. It makes me feel bad. I don't want to do it anymore. At that point, that is when you're going to shift. That is when you're going to change. And not before that. So if you're waiting for permission, if you're waiting for something to happen in your life to make that change, or you say like, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it in 3 months, or whatever, get it down on paper to raise the standard. Tell me what that's going to look like. Put it in the comments below. What is it going to take for you to raise your standard? Where do you want to raise it? And what are you going to do? And when are you going to do it? And I don't think like there's a best time to start self-improving. Like I think if you're going to raise your standard, it's a decision you shift up. It really is. Like you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to read any books. You don't need to watch these videos. You don't need to do any of it. You can just raise that standard right this second, right this moment. This is not okay. This is the person I'm going to become. And your life is going to be better for it. And then we can talk about strategies and tactics to stick with it. But until you raise that bar, until you raise that standard, nothing's going to change unless you do. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Looking forward to seeing you for the next one.